Hello and welcome to Beyond. So before I get going and look at our indicators this week, I'm just going to read through a brief disclaimer. Please feel free to read along as well. Beyond Trader LLC is strictly a research publishing firm. The information we publish is based on our opinions, plus our quantity models, statistical and financial data, and independent research. This service is not registered with any financial regulatory agency such as the SEC or any other organization or governmental body. By using our platform or our services, you acknowledge that we do not provide personalized recommendations or advice. Alternative asset classes are volatile investments and carry significant risk. Please do your own research before making any financial decisions. Okay, so let's have a look at our indicators and what's currently going on. I think a good place to start would be a full overview of our quant indicators in the beginning before I get to specifics. So this week, we've seen something quite significant happen with Biyond Atlas. So let's go and check that on the chart. So as you know, Biyond Atlas has been moving into the red zone, but recently it started to tick down and is moving closer to the white zone. So what does that all mean? That means that all the bearish pressure that we've been seeing recently has started to be reduced. And if we start to get into the white zone, it's a great sign that this bearish pressure is going to start to end. If we have a look at the last time in the March to April period, when we were in that red zone and we started to move out of there, once we eventually got away from it, we saw a massive rally in Bitcoin, although obviously not as high as some people hoped it would go, but nevertheless, we did get it on the cusp of moving into the green zone, and that kind of coincided with a move towards the 120 area. So very encouraging to see it moving at least towards there. And I think the key risk, I guess, moving into this week is that we see a minor pullback in Bitcoin, and that could affect it and slow down the move somewhat. But I'd like to see Bitcoin heading out of the gates this week towards 116, and that would probably get us somewhere into the white zone. So that's something key at the moment that I'm looking at. In terms of Beyond Vanguard, again, it's been disappointing recently. It has been pretty bearish for a while, which kind of speaks to the broader market conditions. And the 3-day is very much red at the moment, which obviously is not a good sign. So we need to see the 3-day and the daily turn in before we probably see a flip in the weekly. So I haven't really got a great deal to say about Vanguard, except for there's nothing exceptionally good about it at the moment. This week, we did have a buy signal from Biyond Challenger on the 12-hour time frame. That worked out pretty well, and I guess we got a bounce back from, I think, around 106, 107 after it got issued, and we're obviously around about 111 now. We've got a daily buy signal coming up in a couple of days, so watch out for that. And I guess that would be a key trigger for the market moving higher if we did get one of these nice daily buy signals. I think what I want to spend the bulk of the time today is looking at our long to short ratio. So if I kind of give you a little bit of history about what's been going on with the long to short ratio, I think the best way for me to do that is probably to go back as far as possible as I can, or it will allow me to do so. So something very interesting has been going on this week. So as we gravitated at the start of the week towards the 116 level, top traders with the highest margin balance, which we measure on the position stage, and not the global retail accounts, but the position is how we measure them or how we categorize them. They were expecting a ramp towards the 105 area, basically, and maybe a little bit lower, while the entire market was turning, at least the retail segment was turning very bullish towards Bitcoin. However, these guys with the highest margin balance didn't buy into it at all. And of course, they were right as the price kind of crashed back towards that area. Now they've flipped again, and it's probably the most interesting metric that we've got at the moment. And they're expecting a ramp back towards the 118 level. So that's something to keep in mind. If you went long at around 108, a $10,000 move to 118 is about right. So these guys are pretty resolute that that's where the price is going at the moment. Bear in mind they're on good form, top traders with the highest margin balance. Now, the next thing that we probably want to do to give some type of confirmation is to look at what retail are doing. Typically, retail lean against the prevailing trend, and they have poor market timing. So we also want to see what they're doing. So they're currently shorting the market after being long, and we can see the price is just moving away from 110. So as long as they continue to short the market, we have a higher probability that these guys with the highest margin balance are going to be correct in their assumption or their positioning that Bitcoin is going to move towards there. So this would be good. and it would also line up with our Challenger buy signal and the mild bullish bias that we're starting to see in Biyond Atlas. So that's kind of where things stand this week. Again, you can come onto our dashboard and monitor it as it plays out. And I think the Challenger signal has been a great recent addition to us, and to us anyway, at least the Biyond Atlas metric is pretty much worth its weight in gold, for the lack of a better term, because it really does let us know when there's going to be a top or a bottom in the market, as well as when the bullish or bearish momentum is starting to increase or decrease. So yeah, so go check it out. And as always, I will leave you here and see you again next Sunday. Thank you very much.